Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you guys are staying healthy, staying happy, staying motivated. I'm in the beautiful city of David, Florida, and enjoying this beautiful day. We did some showings today. Had a client I was working with looking for a single family home. Guys, I am a licensed and insured realtor here in South Florida. If you're looking to buy, you're looking to sell, or you need a property manager, my name is Joel. My phone number is 305-988-2230, and I would love to work with you guys. So let's get right into it, everybody. Let's get right into it. Oh, and I just want to say thank you guys for showing my videos love. I'm going to be doing this. I try to do this every day, guys. Sometimes my schedule, I'm able to, sometimes I'm not because I'm just a little too busy. But I love doing these videos. I love getting you guys' reaction. I love the comments you guys give me, both the criticism, positive, and not so positive criticism. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. So let's get right into it, everybody. So recently, the Fed just released some information talking about the economy. And I don't ever like to be a negative Sally, or I don't know how that saying goes, but it's not looking too great, everybody. It's not looking too great. They released some information, and I said this in my last video that, remember guys, with information, you use multiple indicators to kind of guide you in what you think the economy is going to happen. But the Fed released some information saying that a recession is possible, that we're going to be going through one. So again, with all this, guys, I always say this: economics is not a science, it's an art, it's a theory. You go based off historical events, that theory, to kind of guide you into the best policies. But yeah, the Fed had some information indicating that we could be going into a recession. Low and middle income classes are the classes being hit the most. Something about the middle class and the lower income class, guys, is the lower income class struggles to pay and to get goods, because obviously everything's expensive. It's hard for them to get a home because it's just their financial situation makes it difficult. But I don't want to say a good thing, but a benefit of being in the low income class is that there are a lot of government programs that help. You can get food stamps, you can get government assistance for cell phones, electric bill. There's a lot of assistance available, guys, to low income classes. At least here in Florida. I don't want to talk about the United States altogether, but at least here in Florida, there are a lot of programs. I know because I've helped someone with a couple of low-income financial assistance programs. The middle class, however, is probably the class that does get hit with it pretty bad too, because they make enough that they don't qualify for assistance programs, and then they make enough so that they make too much that they don't qualify for the assistance programs. But in reality, they don't make enough to be able to pay for a lot of this stuff, so they don't get help and they still struggle, guys. The difference between a middle income and a low income class is going to be their financial situation, right? I mean, it's really, but what I'm trying to get at is, I'm not saying it's better to be in the bottom income class, but what I'm trying to say is that there's more assistance and programs available to the lower income class. So that's just something to keep in mind about. But obviously they're getting hit with it. Middle income and lower income classes are getting hit with it the most. Inflation prices, the price of goods, high interest rates. There's a high amount of borrowing. I went into this in one of my videos. I provided some data. There's an incredible amount of borrowing right now going on, guys. And again, at these interest rates, when you borrow money, guys, you pay a high interest rate. So that's why, even going back to real estate and buying houses, that's why your mortgage, which includes your principal and interest payments, your escrow payments, your taxes, and your insurance payments, that's why all this is so expensive, and that's why it's so hard to be able to get a home. Not only do you have to have a decent down payment for a home, but you got to make enough to make those monthly payments. And with everything going up, it's just all a vicious cycle, and everything just keeps going up. I want to keep talking about this, but I want you guys to see this view. I always like showing views of the water. This is here in South Florida. Man, when it's nice, it sure is beautiful out here. All right, getting back to it. Okay, so like we said, there's high prices. There's high prices right now. There's high inflation. There is high interest rates. So it just makes it has a negative income on the middle class and the lower income class as well, because it just makes everything harder to purchase. Another little fact here: repossessions and delinquencies on auto loans are increasing, specifically for the low income. I mean, you guys are aware of this. You guys know the interest rates are crazy right now, not only on homes, But on cars as well, you got to be very careful buying a car nowadays, guys, because you're just paying so much money due to the interest rate. There is a high demand for used cars, so used car sales. There's a lot of buying and selling going on, especially in the used car market. But still, guys, with the interest payments that you're making, I don't want to get into the numbers because I'm not a car finance guy, but knowing that the interest rates are high, it obviously makes it more expensive for everybody to be able to afford a vehicle, you know. And at least here in South Florida, guys, everybody wants to have a nice car, you know. That's something that's kind of, I guess, popular here, you know. It's the image and whatnot. So, but in the negative effect, you can have a nice car, guys. I'm not saying you can't have a nice car. You can definitely buy whatever it is you can afford. But if it gets to the point that you're losing your vehicle, then there's some serious reevaluation that each and every one of us has to do, not only for vehicles, guys, for homes, for rentals, for entertainment, for cable, for video games, for computers and alcohol and dining. All of us need to make serious reconsiderations, because right now everybody's the time to save money. Do not get into more debt. Do not get into more debt if you don't have to, guys. Save money, because if we do go into a situation where we're getting into a recession, and I always say this, there are winners even in a down economy, and you want to have money to be able to take advantage of the opportunities. Opportunities are neither cheap nor are they easy, but they do become available, and everybody, at least in the United States of America, this great country, we all get opportunities. So that's why I keep saying save, save, save. So when that opportunity comes and you need 5-10 grand in cash, you can make that move. Maybe you can flip that 5-10 grand into 20-25 grand, you know. Again, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's cheap, but what I'm saying, it's doable, right? We can have a mindset of lag, saying you're never going to be good enough. You can have a mindset of, man, I can't wait for the next opportunity to come up. And with that being said, everybody, obviously be smart when we're talking about opportunities and risk. You know, I would strongly suggest, guys, if you guys are going to take on a risk for yourself. Don't invest in other people. Don't invest in anybody's ideas, because at the end of the day, guys, the only person that you can trust is you. And I don't mean that in any which way. I love my family, I love my friends, but I've been burned in the past enough times by family and friends that I don't invest in people anymore, guys. I just invest in myself. And so far, it's been the best decision I made. So you guys do as you will, but just be smart with your money, everybody. $10,000, $5,000, $3,000 is not a little piece of chump change. At least to me, it's not, you know. So, but anyway, keeping it moving. Another thing that I want to get into just going forward is there's something that I think not everybody is thinking this, but something that I want to just kind of state that in economics, guys, when you have a hot economy, normally what you do is you raise interest prices, and that ideally, in theory, again, is supposed to lower the flow of money. It's supposed to cool off the economy. Right? And why do you do that? Because you want to cool off the economy to avoid inflation. You want to cool off the economy. It's like in this specific example that we're going through currently, when COVID happened, there was a large amount of printed money. We're talking billions of dollars, guys. I think the U.S. just approved, the current cabinetry, President Biden just approved, I think it was in the billions, correct me if I'm wrong, everybody, but another couple billions to Ukraine and to Israel, and I always say this, guys, we all got to pay for that. That money is never free. So what does that do? When you have a high increase of printing money, that increases the flow of money. That lessens the value of the currency, which right now is the dollar in the United States, as you guys know. And when you lessen the value of the dollar, you have prices go up. So now that, let's say, for example, that $5 gallon of milk that you used to buy a year ago, now it's because the dollar's worth less. Now you're paying $7, $8. That example multiplies and has the same effect on gasoline, price of goods, electricity, cable, you guys name it, everything goes up. That's what causes inflation. So you don't want to, one of the main reasons you want to cool the economy down is to avoid this. You raise interest because you want to make it less desirable for people to borrow. And then on the flip side, when the economy is slow and you want to kind of start pumping money into the economy or getting the cash flowing, you lower interest rates. You lower interest rates to make the desirability of money more, I guess, the availability of money more desirable. People are more likely to take on debt and to pay lower interest rates, and that increases the flow of money, more business, and then you have a more booming economy. That's in theory, guys. Economics is a little more technical than that, but that's just a brief overview. But anyway, a lot of people are expecting that the Feds are going to be lowering the interest rate. And I say that because there's a lot of individuals saying, well, they're not going to buy a car till the interest rate goes down. They're not going to buy a house till the interest rate goes down, because obviously higher interest rates means more money you have to pay. And there's a lot of people waiting for these, for the slashing of the rates. And guys, I'm here to tell you, this is not said with 100% certainty, because obviously we never really know what the Fed is doing. But it is very likely, it is very unlikely that the Fed is going to be lowering interest rates. I know some of you may or may not want to hear that, but if they lower the interest rates, guys, there's going to be more demand of money. There's going to be more activity going on, and there's going to be more. The hotness of the market is gonna actually increase. You're gonna have more people borrowing. And again, right now, guys, what the Fed is trying to do is to lower the flow of money, raise interest rates, make it a little less desirable for people, so they wait, and that way there's less flow in the economy, and you can lower the economy to avoid things like recessions. And because once it gets to a point, guys, that people can't pay for gas and food, and businesses can't pay their employees because everything's just so expensive, that's when you really get layoffs, recessions. So the scary thing about all this, everybody, is that you got to think about this also, not only from your personal perspective, not only from you as a worker or an employee or a business owner. You got to think about all these things from the perspective of politics, right? And why do I say that? I'm going to ask you guys a question. Do you think that a president and his cabinetry wants to have wants the market to cool off when they're president? Do you think that whenever whoever is president, do you ever think they come into office saying, oh no, I want the economy to produce less, I want the GDP to go down? No, that never happens, guys. And the reason I bring up this example is because if that never happens, that means that whatever cabinetry, whatever president is there in office, 9 out of 10 times, guys, they're gonna do whatever it takes to keep the economy running. But the question is, to what extent, to what cost? To push our economy, to push our people into a recession when things are just ridiculously expensive? And that's the question you guys gotta ask yourself. I hate to say this, but a lot of time, guys, no matter which president or who is the president, presidents aren't looking after mind in your wallet. Presidents are looking out for the re-election. They're trying to please their constituents, the donors, and so politics can be a very ugly sport in a sense. But anyway, yeah, you guys got to think about that. Do you think Biden right now says, nah, let's lower the economy for the safety of the people? He's not thinking that, guys. You know what he's thinking? And this is every president. I'm not just pointing out Biden. Biden's thinking, well, I want to get reelected. Why in the hell, so excuse my language, why in the world would I want to get the economy to be slower? Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to lower our GDP? Why, even though that can mean it's a safer economy and you can possibly mitigate a recession, they don't care about that, guys. They don't care about that. The only time they care about when that happens is when it's actually happening. And by that time, it's too late, everybody. So let me know what you guys think. Am I just, I get comments that say that I just kind of babble, but I like to get you guys' opinion. If you guys think I'm babbling, let me know in the comments below. If you guys agree or disagree, let's have a conversation. Why do you think I'm wrong? Why do you disagree? Why do you agree? I want to get your guys' input. I reply to pretty much everybody that comments, guys. I'm very active in my social media. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. You know, do you guys agree with me, disagree? Do you think that we're going to be going into a recession? Let me get your viewpoints, you know. Let me get your perspective. I want to get input from you guys so I can better understand. And the more that we can all understand the situation, the better, the more knowledge we have. And the more knowledge we have, we can be more wise with our financial decisions. So honestly, let me know what you guys think. And I mean that. So as you guys know or don't know, there's also been an increase in individuals having a second job to be able to make ends meet. This isn't a super uncommon thing, but you're going to be seeing this more and more now, especially families that have, you know, husband, wife, they got 2 or 3 kids. I ran into an old high school friend the other day. He was in the military for 5 years. He was a machine gunner I don't know if it was like a Humvee or tank, but he was a Marine. But anyway, he was in the Marines, the military, and I saw him in Macy's the other day, man. Super cool dude. And it was just, you know, I know he was in the military. I mean, usually these guys, they usually get government jobs. They became firefighters or, you know, police officers. So I asked him, hey, what's up? What are you doing? You know, and the first thing I always make sure, guys, is how you doing mentally, man? You know, I mean, being an infantryman, a machine gunner, you can imagine. He's definitely seen some stuff. The conversation kept going, and he told me he was working 3 jobs, everybody, to support his family, to be able to pay his bills. 3 jobs, everybody, you know. He was working in Macy's. He had another 2 jobs. He was trained to be a firefighter, so. But anyway, to keep it going, guys, yeah. He had 3 jobs to support his family, to be able to pay his mortgage. So it's just, I don't ever like to talk about examples of what I think or what I heard. I like to talk about real people, real situations, so I can speak off of facts and my own experience, you know? So anyway, keeping it going, there's obviously a lot of borrowing going up, a lot of credit, a lot of people are borrowing for different reasons. You guys, I'm sure you guys understand this already. And then another point, guys, is as far as employers, right? Especially in these smaller, let's say fast food restaurants, in certain places in the United States, and correct me if I'm wrong, everybody, California, I believe there's a minimum, or they're gonna start a minimum wage of $20 an hour. And that sounds great, that is great, you know, that's great for the person getting paid more money. But when you look at it from the business standpoint, they have to pay more, means that they have less money. And if they have less money, they can only raise the price of a burger so much, right? They gotta sell burgers. They can't have a burger being $20 for just a burger. So when you have laws coming in, ideally to help the average income American, at what cost is that, right? And I'm not trying to defend businesses, guys. There's businesses that do a lot of shady business, but what I'm trying to get at is if you increase or make it a requirement for people that may have a better living, a better quality of life, let's say $20 an hour, that means that the restaurant is gonna have less profits, they're gonna be employing less people, and they're most likely gonna have to raise their prices, which can mean in turn less business. So it's a positive effect in one way and a negative effect in the other way. So, and I always like to look at things like that to kind of get a fuller understanding of the details of all this stuff, right? Because I can just tell you, yeah, they're paying more. But what does that mean exactly? What does that entail? What are the details? Who's that good for? Who's it bad for, right? So, and then you combine that with high inflation and all this increase in prices. You have it all across the board, guys. Increase in prices, increase in goods. When you go to restaurants, less people spending money in restaurants. Inflation, really what it does is it makes it less likely that the average income American is going to go spend money, because they're saying, well, why should I go to that restaurant and pay $80 to $100 for 2 people when I can just order in food, or just go to, like, I don't know, Taco Bell, whatever it is you guys are into, you know, and I'll pay $20 and just go there, you know? So, but anyway, guys, that's just a brief. I don't want to keep harboring on this stuff. You guys know that, and I've said this, it's possible that we're going to be going into a recession. Real estate right now, guys, as you guys know, is obviously really high too. It's really expensive. Here in South Florida, guys, I'll tell you, there are homes are being sold every single day, everybody. Now the amount of homes being sold has dropped. So you have homes that are lasting longer in the market. There's been price reductions. I would say realistically from 1 to 3%, there's been price reduction within the past 3 to 4 months of homes, because people want to get their homes sold, right? If it's a nice property and you use a good realtor, you can get the property sold. Even if it's an ugly property, but you use a good realtor is gonna know how to sell your property, guys. They're gonna work. They're gonna make you see why it is. There is that term, a good realtor. And if you guys need a good realtor, my name is Joel Vargas. My number is 305-988-2230. If you're buying or selling or need a property manager, I would love to work with you guys. And with that being said, everybody, you know, as we mentioned earlier, with houses being more expensive, inflation, high interest rates, it makes a negative impact on the middle and lower income classes. which can ultimately result in a recession. And I really hope that's not what it comes down to. But you guys stay healthy, stay happy, stay motivated, be smart with your money, be smart with what you're putting on credit. I give you these messages and these words with love, with good energy. If you guys have any questions, call me, text me. I would love to hear from you guys. I hope you guys have a great day.